I'm gonna hit the live for the radio. All right, I got us live. I got us live on the Facebooks, but now this gives me a chance to
What's up, Facebook?
What's up? Now I can find us out here, and then I can make it public, which is the thing I need to do. Where do I do that? Here we go. Let me get into this thing.
Then I can share it.
Oh, I wanted to get into it. I wanted to get into it from my home screen, but it didn't let me. It pulled it up in the group. I wanted to be here. All right, here we go. Edit post. All right, what's up? Sorry, Facebookers and YouTubers. I'm just figuring out how you would think I would know to do this by now. But here we go. Make that public. All right. There we go. I got it. We're live. We're doing things. I'm going to get us live in the radio. Jai's going to play some cool stuff in the background. Hit it, Jai. I gotta turn my koozie around. I didn't have time to get you one of these. I didn't have time to get you one of these new koozies.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one.
They were there. You guys were just busy screwing around over at Disney.
We should have had you leave us. Yeah, we spoke on opposite days, and
that was the most glancing "what up" that I think I've ever had. Selfie, ba-bam, peace.
Thank goodness. I know. I was like, we wouldn't have seen Dan on the whole trip, even though it was only for 5 seconds. I met your wife for, a whole 5 seconds.
Yeah, we got a selfie. We didn't actually get to say hi. We just were like, hey, what's up? Selfie. Okay, you guys are going that way. We're going. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour. We're hanging out. We got Angela Schroeder. We got Dan Plata. We're going to be just telling some vacation stories today. We have notes to compare. I was down at Disney with the fam. Angela was down at Disney with her fam. So we got some notes to compare on that. I want to hear some of your stories. I don't know if you got a chance to see all of my hilarious Facebook posts from crazy shit. There's like the one thing about like stupid things my dad says or crazy shit my dad says. This is like the silly ass things that my kids say or do. And so I got some stories from that. Holy smokes. But I also noticed, and Angela and I were talking a little bit about this before we went live here. I just had the weirdest like vacation hangover yesterday. Like the kind of vacation hangover you get when you're like a kid and it's emotionally like hard for you to grapple with like ending something that's that fun. And maybe that's just me because I'm usually like pretty high. Not on like marijuana or anything, but I'm usually like, I'm pretty in a good mood pretty much all the time. I don't smile as much as Angela, but pretty damn close. And so it's really weird when I have these like big hangovers. And so I kind of want to like explore that a little bit. These like down times we have after a super fun vacation. And I also just want to get into like, as a business owner, the importance of taking a vacation, especially as you're scaling the business. And it's super hard to do. As we're scaling because we have so many of these problems we're creating and demands we're creating. And so the importance of it and how to do it and how not to do it. If there is a way to not do it, I don't know, but we'll get into it. So anyway, Angela, did you have a post Disney hangover like I had? Did you have a weird letdowny, like, is it like a Sunday funk sort of feeling, but like times 10? Is what I
did, but I was prepared for it, so it probably wasn't like yours. It is a real thing, especially after a Disney trip. Mm-hmm. I'm a psychology freak since I got a degree in psychology, but Disney prides itself on being the happiest place on earth, and they do that by giving you as many dopamine and serotonin rushes as you can possibly have with every sense. Like we'll talk about that, right? Like that's what their Imagineering is about. Sight, sense, hearing, every part of your senses.
Yeah, you're stimulated.
You go to is stimulated and creates the maximum amount of dopamine and serotonin.
Oh, I was doped up for sure.
So you are on that constant rush. Plus the way the Disney schedule is, it's just like you're on this, which we're going to talk about. Like it's insane, the schedule to try and see everything.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing. I went to Disney like every year when I had my dance studio because we danced at Disney.
Oh, sweet.
And
You already like went knowing exactly what to expect.
yeah, I would prepare people for that. Like, just by
Yeah.
the way, you're going to have a depression crash. That you've used up so much of it also that it's gone.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. So
I almost I think a strategy that maybe I should have employed, and I don't know how I would have at this stage in my life and in my business, but I should have like structured it to have a day off when I got back.
yeah.
I don't know what I would have done, because I think part of the value of being a small business owner is you like get right back into it. And so you do get immediate stimulation from like, oh shit, I got to do all these things. So maybe it's good that I didn't take a day off. But yesterday, like traveling back, I mentioned before we went live, like there was a couple times I thought I was going to cry. I was just like in this weird, like, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I should be trying to do 1,000 things, but I'm in this like depressionary state, and I don't know why. Both my kids were fine. My 5-year-old and 7-year-old, Danny and Reggie, were both like totally fine. And like, I'm like, Marty, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I'm in like this Sunday funk, and I don't know how to get out of it. And it's sad, but I've had so much fun, and now we're not having fun anymore. How do I have more fun? It's really funny. It's weird. I'm a weirdo, so it was weird. But that, like, what you said totally makes sense, because we had 3 days there, and now we got to compare some notes. So we had 3 days. We did, I guess, 4 days. I saw you. You spoke at PWMCA Thursday. I spoke on Friday. And then I met my buddy Bobby Walker over at the Contemporary Resort, whatever, is that where you guys were staying?
No,
you just got off there to stay dry, or what?
We got off there because it's easier to get there and take an Uber from there than it is from Transportation Center. So
yeah,
getting an Uber from there. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are freaking smart. You guys know how to do this thing. But that was where we saw you, unplanned. Like we had messaged ahead of time, like we should try to meet up. And then I think like the realism hits in of like, well, this day we're at this park, and this day you guys are at that park, and then this day you guys are doing that park, but we're already like at this park trying to do this thing. And even then it would be impossible to try to coordinate because you got your lightning lanes and we got our lightning lanes, and we gotta go meet some princesses for a character.
And see that, I think you'd think, oh, we'll meet at the end after the park's done. In reality, you're barely making it to your bed, passing out.
Oh, dude, it's so real. This was a pro move. I don't know if Marty intended this or not, but we bought a stroller for like $200, a 2-up, a front and back. So like one kid could, and five, and they weigh like combined 100 pounds. It's a bitch of a stroller to push. It's not like a double wide Bob, which pushes pretty well, like still hard going uphill. But this is like a front and back, can't turn with 100 pounds of crap plus 8 bottles of water underneath and all of our sweatshirts and whatever. But Marty bought a stroller, and then we sold it yesterday for $100, like on the way out. So we basically got a dope stroller rental for $100 for 4 days. Worked out perfect.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And it was great to like just have all of our stuff in. And with a 5 and a 7-year-old, there's no, Sean Day had posted it. He's not on here to comment on it, but he had posted on one of my smatterings of funny shit my kids were saying. Sean had posted about like, how did these kids keep up? Because relaxing for Dan Plata is let's grab a beer and walk 1,000 miles at 1,000 miles an hour. Which is like, I don't like sitting still. I want to be on the move. I want to be doing stuff. I want to be seeing stuff. So like relaxing to me is grabbing a beer and walking around and whatever. So Sean was giving me a hard time, and I was like, just relax. I put the kids in a stroller, but I was totally the dad that's walking 3 times faster than everybody, like burning over people's heels, burning over their toes. There's so many slow, inconsiderate walkers at Disney. It drove me nuts. Like I swear a lot. I don't swear as much around my kids, but they already know, like, I'm just going to swear, and they know what they can say and what they can't say. There's some ground rules about it. But I really didn't I didn't have much for swears at Disney besides like big drops on roller coasters. And when somebody would be walking slow, Like there was a G damn that would come out of my mouth, or an what the F would come out of my mouth, because it's just like, come on. Like there was one time I took it too far, and Marty informed me later that I cut off a lady in a wheelchair. But other than that, it was other people cutting me off. I was like, I don't even know when that would have happened. Like, I don't remember like cutting off, but I'm just on a mission. It's like, we got to get to this ride, because then we got a lightning lane for this one. And then we got to get over here. And then
I'm that way too. I felt like I was pre-coaching everyone. I was like, this is not a leisurely walk. Like, we're going at the pace that they don't yell at you that they're not yelling at you for running.
Chris Casale checks. He says, I'm in Orlando now at an all-inclusive resort. Bad idea. I'm hammered 24/7. I think that would happen to me at an all-inclusive resort. I think at Disney was the least I've drank in the longest time ever.
It's really hard to get a drink.
It's impossible to get a drink. I want to hear about your guys' Epcot experience, because I didn't like, mine was just princesses and Guardians of the Galaxy and hitting rides. I had like probably in 3 days, I bet I didn't have 3 drinks. There was one time when the girls went to the bathroom and I snagged a beer when we were at Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, like all day. Chris says, dude, I never drink. I am not okay. That's funny, because I always drink. And so it was weird not drinking, but I'm like, I'm usually just not a fan of paying $10 for a beer. I did have some beers Instacarted to the hotel, which then I took that over when I spoke, so I could have a few beers, because I got to have a beer on stage.
Yeah.
And just running into people, a 12-pack doesn't last too long. And then I just like had a couple drinks in the room, but it was like, you get back and like throw down a whiskey and Sprite or whatever you had handy, and then it's like, I'm toast. Like I'm crashing and hoping that I don't wake up with those calf cramps. Like every once in a while you get the calf cramps while you're sleeping, and you're just like, oh, it hurts so bad. But pushing that stroller all day I think I probably averaged like 25,000 steps a day. The last day I was like clipping 30,000 steps, but these calves got some work in over.
Yeah, that's about the steps that we did. Yeah. I mean, we weren't pushing a stroller, but the stroller, my comment on the stroller is clutch. All my other years, I mean, we took a stroller until the kids were because you need it for all your water.
By the time they're like way too old to be in a stroller, but you're like, look, you don't walk with enough urgency, get in a damn stroller, child.
Well, I wanted the stroller for the stuff. You need it for your stuff, your water and all the stuff you're bringing along. So I will say I really missed having a stroller.
I bet that, like, and which is why a lot of people have backpacks, but I don't like, I mean, luckily the 3 days we were there, it was sunny as hell. It was like mid-70s. It was never like scorching, but like even me with a backpack on, you'd be able to see the outline of that backpack on the back of my shirt for a long time, because it would just be a pile of sweat. At least in this case. Justin says, I'm probably the slow person you're running over. We're pass holders, so we go 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not in a hurry. Yeah, I'm the asshole that's like, coming through. Everybody out of my way. I got a lightning lane. We're going this way.
There's no way unless it's sprint. We're getting
Chris says, these people drive fast and walk slow. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. That's a good point. Too, like there's an embarrassing amount of not healthy people at Disney. Like, and so those people are not walking fast and don't have that sense of urgency, which everybody's got to do their own thing. It's cool. I'm glad they're out there doing their thing, but don't mind me when I come up on you fast, and I'm coming through. So we did, so you guys did Magic Kingdom Friday, which was the day we didn't really do anything, but we did a character dinner over at Contemporary. We did the Mickey's character thing for $11 billion for that meal, which was just like not a great buffet of food. It was bad stuff. I didn't feel, no, actually that one I felt okay after. There was a different like lunch thing we did where I was just not feeling great. Like literally went and found Pepto-Bismol as soon as I could find Pepto-Bismol type of meal. I don't know. It was maybe the salmon. I think it was the salmon. I shouldn't have eaten the salmon. But then we saw you after Magic Kingdom and you were soaked. You guys were wearing ponchos. That was like the one time that the weather wasn't good was that day, but we didn't do any park stuff. We just did that dinner. Did you guys pack it all in, like just Magic Kingdom on that day, or did you hop around?
just Magic Kingdom on that day. And we're going back this summer. I mean, we just added on a couple days because we were already there speaking. And we had the girls and we're like, let's go. Unfortunately, one of them got sick. Annie was sick. So it was just Nixie. And then Hildy, she called me and is like, you're going to Disney? Well, I'm coming to Disney, and booked herself a flight.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. And it was so much fun having her along. So we weren't trying to get all of the parks in. We were just like, we'll do 2 days in the parks, did as much as we could of seeing everything at Magic Kingdom. The fireworks there were awesome, but we stayed through the fireworks and then called it because even though we had ponchos on, we were drenched.
Yeah, you guys were getting soaked. Which, like, the fireworks were when it was raining. Like that, like it wasn't raining all day, and then really it started raining just in time for the fireworks.
Just in time for the fireworks, and you didn't want to miss them. So
now, like
that, and yeah, Magic Kingdom was good. What is our favorite ride? I don't know. What's your favorite big one there?
There's Tron. That's like the
one. Everyone loved that. Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, my eyes were watering so hard when we did Tron. It like the picture of when we were on Tron, Danny, who's like a little squirt, like she was barely tall enough to go on it, but she looks so small on that bike. What do you call it? A bike? I guess you call it a bike. And the only downside to Tron, I mean, that like the acceleration of that thing was so damn fast, and because you're like kneeling forward and your neck is up, I totally got like a whiplash thing in my neck. Like I almost had to like sit up on it, like tipping my head back the way you kind of have to like see what's in front of you. Definitely like jarred my neck, but that ride was sweet. And one of the things I really appreciated of a lot of the rides, but the way the line works on especially a lot of the newer stuff like Guardians and Rise Against the Resistance, like the line is its own experience. It's so cool how they do that and like move you through in stages and groups. And so you're in the line and they're coordinating you through, but you're being entertained and immersed and all that stuff. And so it's so like it makes it, granted we had lightning lanes for a lot of stuff too. So instead of standing outside in a line for an hour, you're pretty much right in that line. Which, man, if you're going to Disney, do the Genie Plus, get on your lightning lane game, talk to somebody that's done it before so they can kind of
somebody who knows so they can give you the tips.
Yeah. So we did Magic Kingdom all day on Saturday, and I would have thought Saturday would have been busy as all get out. We were done with everything we wanted to do by like 4:00. We actually went home and took a nap and then came back and did a couple more rides and then did the fireworks that night. Like we crushed Magic Kingdom so hard. I think like we got in for rope drop. And if you're a resort guest, you get in a half hour earlier. And even then I think like we were even earlier than that, but they let us get way back in there. So like we were on the first It's a Small World ride that went, which was not a fun ride for me. And it's super creepy, but it's like nostalgia. Like, I think I remember that ride from when I was 6. And Peter Pan wasn't up and running, and then we totally lucked out. We got off It's a Small World, and then they were like, okay, Peter Pan's up and running. And so we were like right in the front of line of that. Like they had just opened it. I don't know why it wasn't working, but they fixed it and then they got it running. But so we were like right at the beginning of it. So we didn't need to use a lightning lane on either of those. Peter Pan was cool. I could do without Small World, but it was a good first little experiential thing. But it like timed out then that we had like a lightning lane for Big Thunder roller coaster, which that one probably ended up being our favorite one. And I'll get as we tell some stories here, I'll get to why that is. And we like stayed on that side of the park forever, and then got over by like midday. We did the Tron, we did the Space Mountain, we did the Buzz Lightyear thing over there. I think we pretty much hit everything there was to hit. Space Mountain cracked me up because I remember that from when I was a kid. I don't remember any of it, but I remember like going on it. And I got on that thing and I was like, this couldn't have changed one bit since I was a kid. It was clickety, it was clackety. Half the time I thought I was about to fly off the damn rails on that thing. Like, I don't know which like made it all the more rush because there was the fear of death. So that made it really interesting compared to like Tron and some of the other new ones where it's just like smooth as silk, like the whole around. Space Mountain, you're like clickety and clacking, and you're just like, we're going way too fast for this thing to be making these noises. But like, and Reggie's always kind of like, she's my 5-year-old. She's a little bit like, Danny's very fearless. Reggie is fearless in weird doses, but also like is more apt to be scared of something. And man, like, we got off of Space Mountain, and Marty and I looked at each other, and we're both like, whoo. And there's no leg room on it for me, and I have pretty damn big like thighs and legs, so there was no, I can't explain it, but I was like wildly uncomfortable in that ride. Like, there's just no room for my lower body to fit into this little vestibule thing. And we get off of there, and I was like, that was fun, but I don't want to do it again. And Danny's just like, that was fast. And Reggie's just like, do. Like, she's just skipping along, just like, that was so fun. We'll do it again later, maybe. And then like, I was like, what? You're the one that's supposed to be like, oh my God, like, I'm 5 and that was overwhelming. And she's just like, just a bopping, like, this is what we do here. It was just like my kids couldn't stay off of like the walkway railings or the ropes. Everything is a jungle gym to them. So it's like, so Marty and I would just be like, whoa, like recovering from a ride. And Reggie would just be like bopping, just bouncing off of this and bouncing off of that. And I was just like, the pure joy and like bliss of that age just always cracked me up. And I got some more stories to get to with that. I want to hear about we got to do a little commercial break here. Jai, cue up some tunes for us. Actually, play some tunes. Turn it down. I want to get to your Epcot, because I think my Epcot was wildly different than your Epcot, because you were with older folks and I was with a 5 and a 7-year-old. So I want to hear about your experience and live vicariously through that, because I think Epcot would be way different with other older people versus with my roommates. And then I got to tell you about our last day. Our last day was just a total whirlwind, and I probably need to hit some of these Reggie and Danny quotes.
Yes, you do.
Goodness gracious. But we'll be back with a little more storytelling and Disney stuff and debating the laurels of taking vacation when we get back here on Home Service Happy Hour. Don't go nowhere.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turf's Up Radio. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Cress is North America's only lineup of battery-powered OPE that meets the needs of professional landscapers. Right now with Cress, you can save up to $2,000 per crew per year, supported by the revolutionary 8-minute cyber system. Cress equipment provides the same power and performance as their gas-powered counterparts, and Cress-made 60-volt CyberPack batteries charge in 8 minutes or less. Professional landscapers can finally make the switch to battery without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. For more information or to find a dealer near you, visit Cress.com. Typical savings for a full-time landscaping crew of 3 users operating handheld power tools for 180 days per year. Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
What's up, business nerds? We got Angela Schroeder in the house dancing under the pier because Stacy's using their studio room, so Angela's out with the painting in the background. I'm just at my bar drinking an all-day IPA. It's
I have an IPA too.
Oh yeah, mine's an all-day. Mine's a small, wimpy all-day session IPA. I got to go get Kraz Dog after this, and he and I are making tacos tonight. It's Taco Wednesday. Waco Wednesday. I want to hit. I want to talk through Epcot and get your thoughts on some things, and then I want to talk through our last day there because I think our last day had something to do with my hangover. Not alcohol related hangover. I don't really get those. I'm pretty well conditioned. But I do get fun hangovers. To what Angela was talking about earlier, I got a dopamine hangover. And I'll talk about some of the silly stuff my kids did and said on the trip because that was maybe the most entertaining thing about it. We're already planning on going back. It's like I don't view myself as a Disney dude or as a Disney family, but when Crosby's old enough to like hit some of those rides, you got to get over 44 inches. I feel like once you're over 44, the only one you couldn't do was Tron, and Tron was a lot of fun, but for $80 for the individual, I'm not going to wait in a line. So I'm just assuming that you're always going to pay for a lightning lane. And if it's an individual lightning lane, you're just going to fork it over. Did you do any of the virtual queues or any of the lines, or were you just like lightning lane it? Let's go.
Lightning lane it. We did virtual queue. We did virtual queue each day at one just to get it a second time because you could only buy lightning lane.
Yeah.
So you can do virtual queue to get Gardens of the Galaxy and Tron a second time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. We were too busy trying to like hit everything rather than like do one thing a bunch of times. We did Mount Everest at Animal Kingdom twice, and that was everybody's favorite ride.
I know we didn't do Animal Kingdom this time, but that's okay. Just did a couple of days.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't everybody's favorite ride, but like just from a straight up roller coaster perspective, it was everybody's favorite roller coaster. Have you done it before? Have you done that
before? Yeah,
it's a cool roller coaster. Well, I just started hearing an echo of myself. That was weird. Did you hear that?
I did hear it.
Yeah, I sound really stupid when I hear myself or something. But anyway, Epcot day 2 for us was Epcot. You guys did Epcot on your day 2 as well, but you were a day ahead of us, so we didn't get to hang with you. Yeah. Did you go around the world? Did you eat? Did you drink around the world? Because I sure as hell didn't. I didn't even step my foot in one of the worlds.
So I think the worlds are fun. They're one of my favorite parts of Epcot at all ages. I even think they're fun for the kids. Because it has Frozen. There's a Frozen ride.
We did Frozen. That was like, we should talk about the rope drop strategy. We didn't really talk about rope drop strategy. Anyway, go ahead. We'll get to rope drop strategy.
So one, I would recommend not going to Epcot on a Saturday. This is probably the first time I have. And on a Saturday, it is full of the partiers. So Epcot is kind of a different kind of Disney. It has all the Disney things and is great for families and kids. And I think the worlds are great for kids. But there's also a different kind of Epcot where you drink around the world and eat around the world. You get a snack and a food from each country.
Is that like a predetermined package you can buy?
No. I don't think so. But you just buy, like, there's fancy restaurants. There's just, fun little, not necessarily counter food, but really authentic food from each country.
Yeah.
But the lines for the drink and food were insane. Like the world's, and everybody had t-shirts that it was like somebody's birthday or bachelor party with all the worlds on the back, and like that you made a check mark when you had a drink.
Yeah, that'd be like a Friday, Saturday thing that them people do.
So we didn't know that until we weren't just there to drink around the world, but yeah, Hildy's 21 and we're like fun. So we tried to grab drinks in the worlds and it was fun, but we got there in the morning, rode a ride right away, and then grabbed a drink at like whatever we walked into, United Kingdom, walked into a pub, had a fun beer at that pub, had a margarita in Mexico. Hildy had a ton of fun making a TikTok about it. Wherever we could grab I think in Italy, we stood in line a little bit to buy some, have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
It could be a fun thing, like the eating too, you're just eating like a little bite of authentic food in that country. And I think that's part's fun for the kids too, because there's like funnel cakes, little desserts, little things. If you do it again with the kids, the world part is actually one of my favorite things with the kids because there's a craft they can make in each world.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. We were very focused on the rides. We definitely the only world we really hit was Norway, because we had to run and hit Frozen, and then we had to go meet Anna and Elsa.
Yeah, we met Anna and Elsa. We did that.
You got some pictures with Anna and Elsa.
Yeah, those were our only characters. But if you do it again, they have this. So there's this station, and they color and make a craft, and it's a good like for your situation. If you have kids and one parent stands and does that, and the other parent stands and gets drinks, and you can like do your drink while you're walking to the next world, and they make their next craft, and you know,
and the other person's in line for the drink. That would work.
And there's little rides, like not necessarily Frozen, but like in the Mexico pyramid, there's a little boat ride.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. So there's little ride, like attractions that are more like, but again, I think like your kids' age think they're actual, they're like, "Ooh, we're in a boat."
Yeah. Marty really liked it. What's that?
You can be in the boat with your margarita.
I'd drink a margarita just about anywhere. Marty really liked Frozen, and that was our like rope drop ride. So back to hit on what I mean with that for those that haven't done Disney before is one common strategy would be you kind of have the ride that you're going to do first, and especially if you're staying at a resort and you're in 30 minutes earlier than everybody else, you don't get a lightning lane for that ride. You just go do it. And we got to Frozen, like we were waiting at the rope drop for like 20 minutes. We got to Frozen and we were like in the first 20 people. I don't think we were on the first boat, but we might have been on the second boat. And so then you get then even like your second ride, a lot of times you can get without needing a lightning lane. It's really like once the park opens to the general public, then you want to make sure you've got like lightning lanes stacked for the rides you're going to plan on doing then. So you're kind of like geographically planning out which rides are condensed that you can hit before you really need to get lightning lanes. So you're buying a lightning lane at 7 a.m., but really for the ride that you plan on doing at like 9.
Yeah.
We ended up doing Frozen at Epcot when we had our like Epcot day. We did Frozen and then we did Anna and Elsa, and that chewed up a bunch of time. And so then we had a hard time getting we didn't lightning lane Anna and Elsa because we were like, oh, we'll get in line early. But Anna and Elsa spent a lot of time with each individual person, which was great, except for when you were in line waiting for them. So that took like probably 30 to 45 minutes by the time we got through there. We ended up on our Epcot day, we ended up doing quite a bit of Epcot, but Remy's was the one we couldn't do. Like the lightning lanes were all out and it was 120-minute wait and just the general line. And so we're like, maybe we're not going to be able to do Remy's, but I'd heard it was super fun. And and just reading it with like the 3D glasses and everything, I was like, we got to get back and do Remy's. But we ended up getting an individual lightning lane for Rise Against the Resistance. And what else did we do? We went over to Hollywood Studios. There's like the Skyliner tram gondola thing.
That's what we took to get, because we had to start at Hollywood Studios because we couldn't get a reservation for Epcot that day.
Oh, interesting.
But we had to rope drop Hollywood Studios. We weren't planning on doing that park. Rope drop it and then just ride a ride.
Did you do anything at Hollywood Studios?
well, we rope dropped and got to ride, and we're the first ones to get to Rise of the Resistance. And as soon as we got there and got in line, they shut it down.
Oh, bastards.
So we got right in at Smugglers, that other Star Wars one, Smugglers.
Dude, I got so motion sick on that one. But it was post the crappy lunch that I had during our character lunch.
So
we had go ahead.
Another character lunch.
Well, we did like a character dinner that first night, and then we did a character lunch with princesses at the whatever the Norwegian restaurant was. So we got 5 princess autographs. So that was cool. But
that's a way to see that. That's a really good way to see the princesses.
Danny got to, when we were at Magic Kingdom, there's a story time with Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And so we crushed Magic Kingdom on day one. Like we did Ariel, we did Belle, and Danny got to play the role of the monster, of the beast. And so they actually it's an interactive role playing thing. And so Danny was the beast, and she actually got to roar at Belle and then dance with Belle. And so she was just tickled. She was just tickled. Reggie wasn't afraid of anything, but she was not going to volunteer to play a part in that play. Which was really funny because it's just kids and their parents. There's 30 of us in the room, right? But there's half the kids are playing a role in this play with Belle, which was just hilarious. The little way they had it set up, and you're sitting there watching. But that was pretty cool. Danny was just all smiles. I was looking up at her I don't know what I'm doing here, but okay, I guess we're dancing. So that was pretty cool. We got some princess time in. But we did. So we did Epcot. Guardians was probably the highlight, I would say. Obviously, just the storyline. Once you're on the ride, the storyline loses its place because you're just I can't, I'm going so fast backwards and sideways. I have no idea where I am right now. So Marty and I were it'd be interesting to ride it again. And then have your wits about you to actually listen to because they're talking at you and they're saying stuff the whole time you're on the ride. But I'm going, ah, woo, wow. I didn't hear anything that they were saying on the ride because I was too busy screaming and yelling. And I had, what were those bracelets called that are your key and get you into stuff?
Magic band.
I had my magic band fly off and I caught it. It fell off and I caught the damn thing. And so then I'm worried about that while we're spinning in circles, going up and down and left and right. And that ride is just crazy because it's so smooth, but it's so fast. And it's just
so smooth. You turned it backwards, so smooth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Were you in the back?
I don't know. I think I blacked out. I have no idea where I was. I was somewhere. I think I was back middle. The
other thing about we only went on it once because we couldn't get the virtual queue the second time. But there's 6 different scenes and 6 different songs. So there's 6 different experiences you can get.
What?
Yeah.
What? Goodness.
Not only do you need to go on it again because the first time you're what is happening to me and don't understand the scene, but there's 6 different ones that you can get.
Oh, man. But that ride was just so cool. It was not, it's was it a roller coaster? Yeah. Was it an experience? But it wasn't a roller coaster, but it was the whole thing is a roller coaster, but it's wound into an experience. And so it's trying to gather it all in was just I don't know what's happening. This is super cool. And we're going super fast. And now we're spinning around a planet. And I think we're spinning around a moon or something. And I'm trying to hold on to my magic band and make sure my kids are okay. But I feel when you see something or a human moving really fast and their facial skin is flapping around because they're moving so fast, that was what I felt like I probably looked like. I probably didn't, but it felt like that. It's just so fast. It's just oh my God. So that was super cool. But then we took, I think because we knew we weren't going to be able to do Remy's, we skylined it over to Hollywood Studios. And so we were able to do Rise and we did Smuggler's Run. I think we just did the 2 of them, but we hopped over and did a couple of the Star Wars ones. And holy shit, I'll tell you what, just the the
Just
design,
the world, the
fact
whole world that you're in.
yeah, like you are in a Star Wars. You are in
Yeah.
Star Wars. You are there. Everything is brownish, reddish clay, and Darth. It's not Darth Vader. What's the new bad guy's name? Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren something. Like he's walking around. We got pictures with Chewbacca. Rey, the new Jedi gal, was there bouncing around doing her thing, and like you are in Star Wars.
The most well-designed, like every detail, the bathrooms, like the food and the people working at the food. I mean, all of Disney is like that you're in a like Epcot's world. But to me, that Star Wars is it to the extreme. Like there's not a detail of the ground or anything that you're looking at that isn't like you're in the movie.
So this was funny to me. So I won't like spoil rides for everybody that hasn't been to Disney and hasn't done it. But part of like the line process, if you will, before you even get on the ride is they put you in a transport as if you are a civilian getting moved from point A to point B. And so the funny part about this to me was that Marty didn't understand what just happened. So they like put you in a transport, they put you on there. There's screens going on telling you what's going on, and you're moving and you're shaking on this transport thing. And then all of a sudden the door opens back up and you are like in a Empire spaceship. And there's a bunch of stormtroopers and the employees are all the generals or whatever the hell you'd call them, bossing you around, right? And in character, like marching you through the line to actually get on the ride. And Marty was like, well, clearly like we came in this door and we went out that door. And I'm like, no, we came in and went out the same door. Like, I don't know if they moved us to a different spot, which they may have, right? Like the thing is shaking and you can't really tell if you're moving or not. Or did they just like drop something over the top of us? And all of a sudden you walk out the door and there's a fucking spaceship there and you're in it. And that's like part of the line. And you're in, but like there's stormtroopers everywhere and there's the dudes marching you through and yelling at you because you got to get on this spot and you're in this line for this interrogation thing. Like that, just that effect of like literally that's the line. You're like in the line and they're moving you through in waves to get to the ride. But that was just bonkers. And it just cracked me up where Marty was like, well, we came in this side and we went out that side. And I'm like, no, like we came in and out the same side.
We're still facing the same way.
Yeah, they moved us or they moved something around us, but we walked out into a different spot than we walked in. And I don't know how they did it. Like it was probably one of those two things. They either moved us or moved something else, but I'm not really sure which one. I assume they moved us, right? Did they move us? Is that what they did? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I think they probably shook and like moved a story. Like the shaking didn't feel like going up an elevator to the second story, but it probably was, or moving down the story.
But where you walk in, you're outside and there's nothing above you.
Oh.
So you couldn't have just gone up a story. It's like they moved you over that rock to the other side of the rock. And really the other side of the rock is like they did it up and over. And then you walk out into what looks like a rock, but on the inside is a spaceship. I don't know. It's just crazy. That one was super cool. Let's do this. I gotta talk through my final day marathon of Disney and all the crazy stuff. And I want to hit some of the quotes from my kids. And then maybe we'll talk about how to get over a Disney hangover. Jai, hit us with some badass tunes, and we'll be back with some more Disney talk and vacation talk after a word from our sponsors. Here.
True Fuel is a high-octane fuel precision-engineered for your 2- and 4-cycle equipment. They use the most advanced synthetic lubricants and stabilizers in an ethanol-free fuel, improving performance, protecting your equipment, and saving you time. That means easier startups, smoother idling, and quicker trigger response, plus extended life for all of your equipment. True Fuel is ready to use and easy to store, helping your operations be more efficient and reducing maintenance costs. We at Turfs Up use True Fuel because we know it works and we know it's the best option. Check out TrueFuel50.com to learn more. That's TrueFuel50.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Are outdated spreadsheets and whiteboard scheduling costing you jobs? Or is a lack of consistency between crews causing your bids to differ from job to job? Or worse, delaying critical invoices and payments? Crew Control offers all-in-one business management solutions fit for every trade. From bidding and scheduling to invoicing and integrating payments, Crew Control provides real-time visibility into your crew's efficiency, whether you're in the field, in the office, or even on vacation. Manage your crews more effectively and improve business performance with Crew Control. Start your free trial today at crewcontrol.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Ooh, we got a little mix up. We got a little mix up.
It's funny because
yeah, you didn't know we were coming back.
I know the commercial blocks, and I was like, "This is the last one." But then I didn't hear the music.
But it's different music. Still good music though. All right, so here's I'm gonna lay out day 3 of our trip because we had boxes we needed to check. I was just the master of efficiency with this one. So I'm mostly just patting myself on the back. But I got to talk through the day here, which gets to like some of the highlights for us and kind of like probably why it was so much of a letdown to leave. And then I want to hit that, like that wraps up with a story about probably my favorite memory, which is not where I thought it would happen.
I love this one.
It's so funny. It's so fun. And if you know Reggie, who's just this cute little 5-year-old, like it's so much better. But and then I think I want to talk a little bit about the letdowns and like the goofiness of vacations like that and debate that a little bit. Maybe not debate it, but get into that and just vacations in general. So day 3, we still had Remy's to do at Epcot, but we had basically done all the Magic Kingdom stuff. We had done everything we really wanted to do at Epcot besides Remy's. And we were going to rope drop Hollywood Studios, but we had already gotten Rise of the Resistance done and Smuggler's Run, even though I thought I was going to. Well, Smuggler's Run, the problem was Danny was the pilot doing the up and down. Don't let a kid be the pilot on Smuggler's Run because you actually are driving the thing. I was doing left and right, but in hindsight, like I should have had her do left and right because up and down is inverted. She just kept nosediving us like that whole ride. So it was very, and it's on a screen and you're watching it. It's like a video game that you're playing and you're shooting stuff. And it was not, I got out of there and I was like, I think I'm done for the day. We did that during our Epcot day when we bounced over to Hollywood Studios. But then when we rope dropped Hollywood Studios, we went straight back to Slinky Dog Dash.
Okay.
I had what did I have? I think I had a lightning lane for Mickey's Runaway Railway thing, that which was awesome. Like Mickey's for a slowish experience ride. That one was super cool. The Slinky Dog Dash was of like the middle tier roller coasters, I'll say, not like the bigger, faster ones, but like Slinky Dog Dash is a blast. It's just like you can't help but like giggle the whole way.
Yeah, we didn't get to do it, but I heard it was awesome because you got to you either have to rope drop or lightning it.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's not very long, which a lot of the coasters aren't because they're roller coasters. They go pretty fast, but it's like you just feel like you're a toy. You feel like you're a toy the whole way through Toy Story Land. You just feel like a toy because everything is huge. Like even the roof over like where you board on Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah.
The roof is the box as if the coaster is its own toy. Like the coaster is on the box as if the whole thing is a toy. It's just super cool. So Toy Story Land was fun. So we like rope dropped that. We did Mickey's Runaway. I think, what else did we do? There was like one other thing that we did there, and I'm forgetting what the hell it was. We went back and did the 3D Buzz Lightyear shooter ride. That was super fun. I don't know if you guys did that one where you're like shoot.
We did that one twice. That's
a fun ride.
It is.
How many points did you score?
Oh, I I don't know what happened the second that I felt you didn't have to like squeeze. I left the trigger down. JC beat me the first time, but the second time I got like way over 100,000 and crushed everyone.
Dang. I got now are you talking about the one at Magic Kingdom, or are you talking about
Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
So there's another one. I think at Magic Kingdom I scored like 30,000, but it took me a little bit to like realize what was going on. Marty mopped me up. I think she got like 60,000. But there's some definitely like high point targets in there if you know where they're at, and I didn't really know where they were at. In Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios, there's another like shoot 'em up Buzz Lightyear game like that, but you're shooting like in a 3D world.
Yes, we didn't end up doing, and that's what we should have done that one too.
That's a fun one. It's a fun one. So we got that one done. We did all of like Hollywood Studios. We didn't do the Tower of Terror. Like nobody really had a huge interest in that one, so we like let that one slide for now. We'll do that one another time, but we didn't do that one. Just nobody was super pumped to go do it. We got some of Hollywood Studios done. We bounced over to Epcot to do Remy's, which is super cool. Although some of those rides that are like 3D, you can get like we did Avatar at Animal Kingdom later in the day, and like my 3D glasses weren't great, and so I was seeing two of some stuff. So it's like those 3D rides are great if your glasses are working properly, and I don't know what makes them work or not work, if some kid dropped them and stepped on them or what. But like we did Remy's, and I was like, this is the freaking coolest thing ever. Like you feel like a rat running around in a kitchen. And then is JC in the house? We got JC in
What's
the house.
up?
Yo.
I look tan.
You're way tanner than I
It's
am.
light. It's really not. I'm like pasty like Casper.
The only sunscreen we had at Disney, because I will just burn like the Dickens, especially this time of year after I've been deprived of sun. The only sunscreen we had was like Kiddo 70 SPF stuff. That's like you are painting white paint on your face. You can't even rub it in. Like it's so thick when you get that stuff. But so that's what we had. So maybe it's 50 SPF. Either way, it's the same thing. It's like you're just putting like the thickest white.
Well, the best part is when nobody tells you, like you've got some white over here and some white.
Yeah, you can't possibly rub all that shit in. It's just gonna stay on your face. Yeah. So we bounced over to Remy's. We came back. We hit everything else at Hollywood Studios we wanted to do, and we probably wrapped up at like 1:00. And so then we bounced to Animal Kingdom, and that was a blast. Like we ended up doing Everest twice. My kids freaking love that roller coaster. I lost my hat there the first time we did it. Like I left it in the seat back. I didn't lose it like blow off my head, but I left it in the seat back. So I told them about it, and then I was like, well, we'll just get a lightning lane for later before we're done here, because that part closes at like 7, I think. That's another one. Like when you go into Pandora, like the Avatar city, you're just like, I'm in fucking Pandora. Like there's water coming out of these rocks way above my head, and I just feel like I am in the movie. The way they designed it and did that, it just blows my mind. It's crazy. So we did Avatar. That was the one, like my glasses weren't dialed in when we did Avatar. So super cool. But I got off of that thing and I was like, my tummy is not feeling great. Any of those like 3D, any of the rides where you're like looking at a screen, those messed me up more than the roller coasters or anything else. Like you don't want to do 2 of those back to back, or you're going to be not feeling great for a while. But so now we did all of Hollywood Studios that we wanted to do. We bounced over and did Remy's at Epcot, and then just took the Skyway back. We did all of Animal Kingdom, and we kind of saved the safari for the end. We got like the pro tip, like do the safari at 5:00 when they're just about to shut it down, because that's when all the animals are getting fed. So all the animals are out. So that was kind of cool. Got to see most of them. One of Reggie's quotes to hit on some of the silly things my kids said. As we were like leaving that, we were walking out of there, and Marty's like, hey, what was your favorite animal on the safari? And Reggie just goes, the tigers. And Reggie's like, or Marty goes, there weren't any tigers, Reggie. And she's just like, oh, like just like a 5-year-old, like, oh. And so she's like thinking about it, and then she kind of starts to giggle. Like you could, like, she was like, oh, and she debated, should she correct it to be something that was there, which I think what she probably meant was the lions. And so she processed that, and then she decided to just be like, this is where my genetics in her came out, and she goes, still the Tigers. Like, I'm digging in and I'm going with the Tigers. And then Danny like looks at her and is just like, what is wrong with you, girl? And like Danny's 7, but every once in a while she tries to act like she's 17. And so she just gives this like teenager look to Reggie, and she's like, I know my favorite animal. It was you. And like, I was just like, oh my God, you like this interaction between these two kids, like they totally have my stupid ass sense of humor, and I love it. And then like every time they do it, I'm just like, that's something stupid that I would say. Like that's great.
I feel like we get along well because I used to get cows and horses confused for the longest time, and sometimes I still do.
Oh, you and Reggie could be pals.
Yeah, I think we've got a good relationship going.
Oh man, so we like knew we were going to get done with Animal Kingdom at 6-7 o'clock ish. We did Everest one more time, and then we got a ridiculously overpriced Yeti Sundae, which is basically like twist soft serve with some shitty blue sprinkles on top for $12 or whatever it was. I don't know. And then we had we drove to Hollywood Studios that morning. So then we had driven to Animal Kingdom. So we drove back to our hotel, like got some stuff out of the stroller. I made a little whiskey Coke for the walk back over to Magic Kingdom. But so it was only like 7:30. And then we trucked it back over to Magic Kingdom, pushing that damn stroller. And while everybody else was doing fireworks, because we had done the fireworks the Friday night when we were there. So everybody else is watching fireworks. We did Big Thunder twice. Like nice. we had to get off and get back on. But as we were on it, the fireworks were going off. And they like the big fireworks that are behind the castle are like really close to Big Thunder. So both times as we're like going up and down and you're outside, you got fireworks going off over your head. It was so freaking cool. But also like 2 times on a roller coaster, and you're like, I think I'm good. Like I think I need to take a little bit of a break.
I feel like whiskey and Coke.
And so we ended up. So we had a lightning lane that we had bought for 7 dwarves, and I like bought it on a whim because I don't know, it was like $11 a person or whatever it was. It wasn't as expensive as Guardians or any of those, but when we were at Animal Kingdom, I was like, hey, do we think we're gonna try to do all 4 parks today? Like, are we gonna get to Magic Kingdom or not?
It's just yeah, I'm so impressed with you.
Well, and we were just like, this is our last time here, right? I'll carry the damn kids if we have to. Like, we got to go. We got to say we did it all. And so we're at Magic Kingdom. We got a 7 dwarves lightning lane at like 9:15 though. And so now after a couple runs on Big Thunder and all you can eat popcorn, because somebody gave me the pro tip to get the souvenir popcorn and just keep refilling it for like $2.25. So we're on like our 8th bucket of popcorn for the day. We had walked past the stupid carousel behind the castle like 4 times. And every time the girls are like, we want to do the carousel. We want to do, and I'm just like, no, you guys, like, it's a carousel. We can do a carousel anywhere. We don't need to do a carousel where we're at Disney. And then finally, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get on that carousel. Like, we got some time to kill before this lightning lane. We were gonna, we still had to do this, like play the sympathy card of like, hey, we're pretty early, but our kids are really tired and blah, 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 blah. We still had to do that anyway. We were like 25 minutes early instead of 30 minutes early. And this was like my favorite of all the places to make a memory. I think this was my favorite memory of the whole trip. So we get on this stupid carousel. I'm on the inside. It's a 5 wide carousel. Like, this carousel is no joke. It's not your typical 2 or 3 wide carousel. There's 5 horses wide. And so those not familiar with the carousel, it's a bunch of horses that go up and down and go around in a circle. So the outside one goes the fastest, right? The inside one goes the slowest. I'm on the inside one. And so and then it's Reggie next to me to my right, and then Danny to her right. Marty was behind me and should have had her phone out for this, but wasn't quite prepared for what ensued. So I turned to Reggie and Danny and I was like, hey, you guys know that I'm going to win, right? And they didn't realize it was a race, but I made sure that they were aware after that interaction that this is, of course, a race. We're on horses and we're going in the same direction. So, of course, it's a race and I'm going to win because I'm on the inside track. And so they both kind of looked at me like, how do I get my, like, they were contemplating how were they going to win? Like, oh shit, Dad's right. How are we going to beat him? And I said, the only way to get your horse to go faster is you got to slap it on the butt. And without hesitation, Reggie, like my little cute 5-year-old, like stands up on the little feet pedestals and just starts smacking her own butt. And I just lost it. She wasn't like trying to be funny. She was trying to be like playful and just like, ha ha ha, look at, I'm slapping my horse's butt. But she was just slapping her own butt. And it was just like Reggie, like Danny just kind of looked at her funny. I turned and I like did that like slow head turn back to Marty. I'm like, are you seeing this right now? And then I'm like, Reggie, you gotta slap the horse's butt. And just like then she just starts slapping the horse's butt. Like no big deal. I'm just like, oh, and Marty, the picture that Marty caught was like right after that, me just turning and looking back like, what is happening with these kids? So and like there's other adults around us looking at us and just laughing because of these silly interactions that I'm having with the kids, right? And the carousel did the carousel thing and we had a blast. But it for such a boring, stupid ride that I didn't even want to go on, but I was just like, you know what? You guys want the carousel? This is our last time at Disney for who knows how long. We're doing the damn carousel because this is for you guys. And that memory, I think, is probably my favorite memory of the whole thing, is just like the pure joy and like stupidity and whatever else comes with slapping your own ass without realizing what you're doing as a 5-year-old. I don't know how you couldn't write that into a movie. So that was my highlight. And then we did Seven Dwarves, and then we were like, Seven Dwarves is basically like Big Thunder, but with individual locking harness things instead of one bar for the whole company.
Oh,
it's pretty much the same damn ride.
We missed it. We had Lightning Lane. I mean, we bought the Lightning Lane for Tron, did it first thing, and then once we used it, bought it for Seven Dwarfs. But we weren't able to get Seven Dwarfs then until 9:40.
Oh yeah,
and got the first one at 7, but couldn't get that second one until 9:40, which we were still gonna do. But then that was the day it rained, like pouring rain, soaked after the fireworks, and we're like, we're calling it.
Yeah, good idea. And then we saw you guys getting off the monorail, and we got to take a picture.
You were better than Seven Dwarfs. See, it just goes to prove your carousel story. Like you never know what's going to be magical. Like we think it is all about the timing. If you go, it is all about the timing and the rope drop and all the tricks, but
don't say no to the damn carousel. I like my post about that finished with like, I'm just never going to be able to look at the carousel the same again. Like every time I see a carousel, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Reg, we're going on that. If my kids ever want to do a carousel, I'm gonna be like, yep, we're riding those damn horses. Yeah. Let's go have some fun. So that was a highlight for me. And I think because we did those 4 parks, I mean, like we were up at 6:30 buying the things, doing the things. We got back at 9:30, and we were wiped. I mean, it's just like it was go 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 go. And so it's kind of like running a small business in a way. It's just like, got to do this, and then we got to do that, and we got to do that. And it was the planning and the coordination was on my mental load. Like Marty really enjoyed it because she was just like, I just got to go do fun shit the whole time. And her job was to navigate, which we probably should have reversed that. Like I'm really good at navigating. She's better at planning, but we attacked our weaknesses. I was the planner. She was the navigator. We got everywhere we needed to. We had a lot of fun doing it. But one thing that we noticed, and I actually need to like make sure my kids recognize that we noticed it, is like our kids were phenomenal. Like sometimes it can be whiny little pains in the asses.
Yeah.
And needy and whining about this and whining about that. But they like, just like Reggie was getting off of Space Mountain, just boop-a-doo, like, look at us. We're going and doing the fun things. Like,
that's awesome.
The only thing they whined about was the 3rd time we walked past the carousel and Dad said no again. And that was like the only thing they whined about. They didn't really whine about any of the food. They didn't whine about any of the characters. They didn't whine about any of the rides. They were just like, what's the next sweet thing we get to go do? And so it was pretty sweet. That was like probably the first big vacation we've taken with just the 2 of them, like destination. That was our first time on an airplane. That was hilarious too. Hold on. I'll hit you. This was when I realized, and then we'll call it a show. This was the first thing that got said where I was like, I better document some of this. We were sitting at the airport And we were in the smaller terminal. Minneapolis has like Terminal 2 for smaller airlines. So we just flew Sun Country, which is like the perfect little boop down to Orlando for us. And the kids are just like absorbing everything, right? They've never been in an airport. They've never been on an airplane. They just know that they're a thing that goes in the sky. We're in the airport. We stopped at a restaurant for an overpriced beer and a snack before we got on the flight. Danny said, I think I'm just going to live here when we get back. Cause, and this is the way she said it, cause they like have a bar. And I just kind of looked at her. I was like, I mean, there's like, you're 7. So I don't know why that's relevant. I didn't say that to her, but I just had this like look at my face. And then she quickly was like, well, not quickly. After like a 3-second pause, she was like, so I could eat there and I'll sleep in the elevators. The end. That was just Danny's thoughts on being in an airport. Even when we flew back home, she was like, I think I'm just going to just stay at the airport. I'm just like, no, you're not. You're 7. You're coming home. But they, like every little bit of it, there's always something. Hold on. Can I do one more?
Yeah.
I got one more. This one was from Reggie. Like I caught the tail end of this on the airplane, and it was just one of those where you just couldn't not laugh out loud. She's like, and Reggie's super excitable. Mama, did you know that every state has one of these? And Marty says, has one of what? An airplane? Like it was really hard to tell what Reggie was actually talking about. Like, has one of what? An airplane? And Reggie says, yeah, every state has an airplane and we can go anywhere to any state. And so Marty just plays along and says, where would you go? Which states? And Reggie with her like little 5-year-old voice goes, Florida, Wyoming, and Disney World. and like, we're like Florida because we're going there, but Wyoming. I don't know how Wyoming got, like, I don't even know that. How does she doesn't know where that is. She doesn't know anything about it. Just like slid Wyoming in there and then Disney. And it's just like one of those things. You're just like, you just can't make that shit up. That's only like happening in a 5-year-old's head. So anyway, I'll leave y'all with that one because we're over time for the show. Play us out here, Jai, if you want to
check out the Facebook page for the rest of them, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
go to my just Facebook feed and you'll see the rest of the silly stuff that my kids say. It was wild. It was hilarious. I loved every minute of it, and I think hence the dopamine hangover. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to one of my business partners about it this morning. There's just vacations that you go on where you get this like rest and relaxation. Like I was thinking about all the Boundary Waters trips and like the hunting and fishing trips that I do, and I'm generally like rested and relaxed and ready to get back. And there's not like a huge hangover from it. There's like a huge level of enjoyment, but I'm not like dreading leaving it. And Disney was the first time in a long time where I've been like, I have just weird Sunday funk times 10 of like dreading not being at Disney. And I think it goes back to what you said. Like, it's just all of your senses are being stimulated the entire time. And you get this mad dopamine rush, and it's hard to leave. But.
And it is so happy. They work so hard that like everyone is happy, and you don't have the, I don't know, crabbiness, just life.
Yeah, maybe that's why my kids were like cool with whatever. They just weren't when. It was awesome. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to Angela and I's Disney stories, mostly mine because I can't shut up. Angela, thanks. It's so good to see you for like 3 seconds.
I know.
That was hilarious. I mean, like, it would have been way more fun to hang out with you guys for longer, but it was also just hilarious that we were like, whoa, there you guys are. Here we are. What's up? Selfie. Okay. See ya. Yeah, it was awesome. Business Nerds. We'll be back tonight. I got Brandon Lazar on the show to hang out and talk about his 17 different businesses that he's got going on. In the meantime, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. I'll see you tonight.